Welcome to High Voltage Engineering for 7 semester electrical engineering. This is the second video on Unit 5 measurement of high voltages and currents, and we are studying the methods of measuring high DC voltages. This is being the second video, but we are studying the method number 3. Two methods were covered in the first video. So in this video, the third method will be considered, that is using generating voltmeter. The learning objectives that are set forward for this particular topic are to understand the principle of operation of generating voltmeter, to discuss the construction and circuit operation of generating voltmeter method, and finally to take a look at the advantages and limitations of generating voltmeter. So let us first consider the principle of operation of generating voltmeter method used for the measurement of high DC voltages. This method is based on the principle of charge stored on a capacitor having capacitance C. So charge stored on the capacitor is expressed as small q equal to C into V, where C is the capacitance and V is the voltage applied across it. If the capacitance varies with respect to time when it is connected to a voltage source, then the current through the capacitor can be evaluated as I dq by dt. I is equal to dq by dt. Substituting the equation for small q, that is a charge on capacitor, and then solving this differential equation, we know that since we are measuring DC voltages in this particular method, so rate of change of voltage with respect to time is 0. That's why the second term will vanish and current flowing through the capacitor will be expressed as V dc by dt. So this is the primary equation which will be used for the operation of generating voltmeter, that current measured by an ammeter is directly proportional to the voltage, and the constant of proportionality will be time rate of change of capacitance. So time rate of change of capacitance can be achieved by a special arrangement that we are going to see at a later stage. That's a specific advantage of this particular method. We continue with the operating principle. As I said, that current is proportional to the voltage to be measured, and a constant of proportionality is the time rate of change of capacitance. So in generating voltmeter, actually an arrangement is made such that the capacitance varies from value C0 to Cm in a sinusoidal manner. So capacitance C will be equal to C0 plus Cm sin omega t, and current that results from this particular change in capacitance, right, will be having a value which will also vary sinusoidally. And since I is equal to V dc by dt, on substituting C, which is a sinusoidal term, we get current as equal to Im cos omega t after taking derivative of capacitance, where Im will represent the maximum value of such current that results due to variation of capacitance sinusoidally with respect to time. Im is the peak value of current. Once we know the peak value of current, it can be rectified to obtain RMS value which will be given as a ratio of peak value with respect to root 2, this being a sinusoidal waveform. So Vcm omega upon root 2, this will be RMS value, and omega is actually an angular frequency in radians per second. It depends upon the speed of rotor vanes, which will be responsible for enabling sinusoidal variation in capacitance. For constant angular frequency, the current will be directly proportional to the voltage. So this is the basic principle of operation. Current proportional to voltage will be measured by using an ammeter, and the constant of proportionality is time rate of change of capacitance. Let us take a closer look at the various elements of generating voltmeter. As the name itself suggests, this voltmeter has a advantage that it does not draw any power from the source from which we want to measure high DC voltage. So this is possible by a special arrangement as visible here on the top left corner in the form of a circuit diagram, and so also it is a schematic diagram. It shows there are 4 different terminals. They are in the form of discs. So we are actually having a cross-sectional view of these discs S0, S1, S2 and S3, and the actual dimensions, or you can see the actual nature of these discs is visible at the top, at the right hand side bottom. All these electrodes, they are in the form of discs. These are metallic. Some of the discs will be fixed and some of the discs will be rotating. So generating voltmeter actually measures the unknown high DC voltage applied across electrode S3, which is available on the extreme left hand side. It is a fixed electrode, and we can clearly observe that there is no physical or electrical contact with electrode S3 with respect to the measurement circuit. So this is a very important point in the circuit operation of generating voltmeter, that there is no physical contact with the terminal on which we would like to measure the high voltage. Hence there is no loading with respect to the source. Such method is extremely useful in applications like Van de Graaff generator. So kindly focus your attention on the various details that will be emerging in the form of animation on this diagram. First and foremost, I am going to highlight the various electrodes. We can see the highlighted portion in the red color, the cross-sectional view of disc S3, which is a high voltage electrode. Its shape is visible at the bottom in the blue colored highlight. So this is S3 electrode. It will be fixed, and that's what we can see, both of them together. Then next electrode is S1. We can see that electrode S1 is in the form of a disc but having slots cut across through this, and it has got a provision in the center through its axis, through which the motor shaft is free to move. It is installed in such a manner that the electrode remains fixed but a motor shaft can pass through it. So that's why there is a hole in the axis in the center of this particular electrode S1. Similar shape is that of electrode S2, but this S2 is in the form of a disc without any slots cut across it. There is a provision for the motor shaft to pass through it. So both these electrodes along with high voltage electrode S3, these are fixed electrodes. Then the only rotating electrode is that of S0. S0 electrode is fixed to the synchronous motor shaft, and it is placed at a fixed distance from the high voltage electrode, the shape of the rotor vanes S0 is in the form of fan blades as visible on the bottom right side. Apart from these electrodes, which are in the form of coaxial discs, we have a motor. It's a constant speed motor, either a synchronous motor or other form of motor which can run at a constant speed and hence obtain a constant time rate of change of capacitance induced across the electrodes S1 and S2. Then we have a rectifier circuit which will enable measuring the rectified current induced due to time rate of change of capacitance, as we have seen the equation earlier. And lastly, the microammeter, which will be responsible for giving us current directly calibrated in terms of unknown high DC voltages. So the RMS current equation that we have mentioned in the earlier slide is again reproduced here as equal to V Cm omega upon root 2, where omega depends upon the speed of the motor, which will remain constant, and Cm is the maximum value of capacitance that will be induced across electrode S2 with respect to S1. Kindly observe that only electrode S0 is having uh, rotational axis. It will be rotating while all other electrodes will be fixed. So as electrode S0 rotates, the electric field lines emerging from high voltage electrode S3, they will be cut across as they approach electrode S2 all the way to the right hand side, and in doing so a variable capacitance will be induced onto electrode S2. So here we can see as it rotates, it will cut across the field elements and there is change in capacitance obtained from such a arrangement. Let us describe the constructional details of this circuit. First and foremost, generating voltmeter is used when source loading is prohibited, like in case of Van de Graaff generator, or when direct connection to high voltage source is to be avoided. Generating voltmeter is a variable capacitor electrostatic voltage generator which generates current proportional to the applied voltage. So this statement gives a single statement which provides a clear-cut view of operation of a generating voltmeter. The generator is given uh, an external mechanical power input from a synchronous or constant speed motor. Hence, it does not absorb power from the measuring voltage source. The high voltage source is connected to disc electrode S3, which is kept at a fixed distance on the axis of other low voltage electrodes S0, S1 and S2. This is the fourth point. Let us come to the fifth and the last point under the constructional details. The rotor, which is a rotating S0 rotating vane, is driven at a constant speed. Usually this speed may vary, may have a value, a fixed value of 1500, 1800, 3000 or 3600 rpm, depending upon the requirement of voltage to be measured and depending upon the synchronous motor construction. The motor vanes of S0 cause periodic change in capacitance between insulated disc S2 and the high voltage electrode S3. Let us now move ahead and check with the circuit operation. First and foremost point, we have to understand that the rotation of vanes available on rotor S0 produces sinusoidal variation in capacitance. The resulting AC current proportional to the external voltage would be generated through resistance R and will be rectified and read by bowing coil instrument. Secondly, an amplifier would be needed if the shunt capacitance is large and longer leads are used for the connection. Sometimes the assembly may be such that if the connection requires that the shunt capacitance value is large between the electrodes, then in that case the current amplification must be done for proper measurement. The third point is that the instrument must be calibrated using a potential divider or a spark gap assembly. We come to the next slide wherein the calibration curves of generating voltmeter are visible. So actually there are two different types of curves or graphs visible here. The left hand side graph, it is with respect to rotating cylinder type of generating voltmeter. There are two different types of generating voltmeters, either they are rotating vane type or rotating cylinder type. So generally rotating cylinder type of generating voltmeter is used for the lower range of voltages to be measured lying in the range of 0 to 80 kV and giving full scale deflection of microammeter up to 10 microamperes. And on the right hand side we can see this is a calibration curve for rotating vane type. This is the type which we have also reflected in our study in the diagrams above. It's a rotating vane type. Again we observe that the range of voltages here is much wider from 1 volt to 1 megavolts that can be measured by using this particular type of electrostatic voltmeter, and current may vary from 10 raised to minus 4 microamperes to 100 microamperes. So quite a wide range of voltages can be measured by using rotating vane type, which is a more popular type of setup. And very importantly, we must take a note that the scale is much wider for rotating vane type, and also both the graphs they show clearly that the nature of readings that are obtained through this generating voltmeter, they follow a linear variation in voltage with respect to current. So that shows the practical usefulness of this particular method in measurement of high DC voltages. So let us now move ahead and take a look at the advantages of generating voltmeter method. The first and foremost advantage is no source loading. This is a generating voltmeter. It uses some amount of power from an external source, but not from the source where we are measuring the voltage. Power is required for driving the motor, but it is not drawn from the terminal where we are carrying out the measurements. Okay, it's an auxiliary source. No direct connection is there with respect to the high voltage terminal. There is a complete isolation. There is a complete isolation of the measuring circuit with respect to the high voltage terminal. So the chances of flashover and need for protective devices is also minimized. Scale is linear and can be extended very easily, that we have seen through the calibration curves just before this slide. And this method is very convenient for measuring devices in methods like Van de Graaff generator and the particle accelerators. While there are so many advantages to this method, let us consider what are the limitations. The first and foremost limitations for such methods which involves mechanical energy or motion, okay, is one of the limitation is it requires frequent calibration. It requires frequent calibration. Secondly, the construction requires careful design due to the use of auxiliary devices like motors and rectifier circuit. And thirdly, the calibration is very sensitive to any disturbance in the position and mounting of the electrode. Because there is a motor and because there is a rotating part involved in this, so any variation or any disturbance in the motion or maybe some vibration or friction, it will lead to the change in the speed of the motor, and consequently the calibration and the sensitivity will be affected. So this is what about the method of generating voltmeter. Let us summarize what we have studied in this particular video for this topic. First and foremost, the generating voltmeter is a method used for applications where direct contact with high voltage terminal is not possible, like in case of Van de Graaff generator or particle accelerator. Secondly, a current proportional to unknown voltage is generated by variable capacitor electrostatic voltage generator. This is the principle of operation of generating voltmeter. Thirdly, the advantages of this method are no source loading and a linear range of calibration. And lastly, the limitation is with respect to sensitivity to the location and the mounting of the setup. So with this we come to the end of this particular uh, topic and this video. I hope you have understood. If you have any queries, kindly share those during the online session. Thanks for watching.